This is the BigBoI Washr Flo. Now this is the original pressure washer unit that they came out with. They've sold thousands upon thousands of units worldwide, but this is the first time we are getting our hands on it here in the US. Which also means that I believe this is the first time that this thing has been converted from a 220, 240 volt system to our 110, 120 style system that we have here in the States. So in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and unbox this thing, show you exactly what it comes with, talk about pricing, talk about the actual usable performance. We're gonna use gauges and different methods to test the PSI and gallons per minute rating compared to what it shows, which we'll get into here in a minute. And then finally, we will use it on my wife's truck. We're gonna use this thing to wash the truck, and so I can really see just by feel, right? Because the numbers are great. The numbers are extremely important. However, you can also get a lot just from the feel, right? It's gonna be anecdotal. It's just giving you my opinion of it, of how it works. With that said, let's go ahead and unbox this thing and start talking about what exactly it comes with. So before we pop this thing open though, I wanted to talk about just some of the components that it comes with and what's listed on the box, as well as the performance. So as you can see right here, quick release hose and gun. So quick connects look like they're gonna be already built into this thing. Made for detailing. So that's one of the things that BigBoI tries to do, is they try and give you the actual performance and everything you need right out of the box. Induction motor. An induction motor is very important. They usually run quieter. The unit will be heavier, but it's gonna run quieter and last longer. They're rating this thing at 1050 PSI, which is perfect for detailing cars. 1.75 GPM, nothing to squawk at. That's a great number as well. And comes with a 42-foot commercial grade hose. So fantastic. Obviously you do have a retractable handle on the back. You have wheels so you can move it around nice and easily. On top of that, guys, bonus foam cannon included in this thing as well. Now these things are not currently in stock. They are available for pre-order, but they are on the way right now. They're 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, something like that. And I did get initial pricing from BigBoI. This kit here is coming in at a price tag of $399. For what's included in this thing, as long as performance is good, that's really, really good. Now it's also going to the Canadian market, so they're doing the whole North America. Canadian market's gonna be coming in at a price of $499. All right, guys, it is time to go ahead and get this thing unboxed now, and just kind of get our first impressions of build quality and things like that of this unit. So packaging, obviously super nice. The box looks really good. Again, does that matter? No, right? It doesn't go into any of the quality of the unit itself, but it is a nice little feature to have a good looking box. Instruction manual with a little nozzle clearing needle. So if your nozzles get clogged up, you can stick it in there and clear them out. Bag right on top includes, looks like just two little attachments, you know, just basic stuff for your wand. Then we also have our garden hose attachment right here. So that's very nice. And then we also have a quick connect, so it will be ready for your hose. So right off the bat, foam cannon. And this is pretty cool, guys. This is one of those variable type tips. So you can change the pattern. Let me go ahead and bring this up closer for you guys. So basically what it is you can, let me see if it'll focus for you. There we go. So you can change between the patterns. So it's probably a 0, of something else, and a something else. And we'll test those out once we actually start using the thing. We'll be able to see what they are. You have a nice 1 liter bottle, nice kind of like smoked clear, graduated measurements on the side. Really nice, really nice. The hose is a nice silicone, so it's nice and flexible, right? And it has a weighted mesh filter on the bottom. So a lot of components to a really, really good foam cannon here. So does it turn vertical and horizontal? No, it doesn't. But again, oh, you know what? That's gonna shoot vertical, that's gonna shoot horizontal, and that's just gonna shoot straight. So I believe that's what it is. You're gonna have a set degree, which again, we'll find out, but one will be horizontal, one vertical, and then the other one will just be a straight line, I think. Moving right along, pressure washer hose. All right, let's see where this is at. Now, one thing already off the bat, guys, is that is very, very nice. You have your quick connects already installed on this. Now, this one is running a female and a male, because that's how they have it set up on this unit. They have the quick connect that's gonna be coming off the unit is a female, so you're just gonna connect this right in there, and then your gun will connect to the other end. Let's check the flexibility of it. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. It does kink though. So I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, right there, it kinks, and then it does kind of stay in the line a little bit. So not the best hose, right? But the fact that it's longer is really, really good. I mean, again, it's one of those things, yeah, you can upgrade your hose. I have the QUIVR Flex hose, which is made in conjunction with ProPulse and their UberFlex hose. Mine, the QUIVR Flex, comes with a female and a female connection on both. So this one, you would have to have some sort of an adapter to run it with this machine. But that's easy enough to do. BigBoi does have alternative hoses as well. They have a really good, I believe it's a 1/4 inch steel braided hose that comes with their Pro units. Fantastic hose, it works really, really well. So like if you do want to upgrade, that's also another option. This is my QUIVR Flex hose. Obviously you can see it's super flexible as well and does not kink, doesn't hold that in the memory of the line. So it's really, really nice. All this stuff will be linked in the description for you guys. Let's go ahead and continue unboxing this thing. So next out is the gun. So same gun that comes with their Pro units that they've had in the past. Good gun, it's a little bit bigger, but it's comfortable in the hand, gets the job done very, very well. Does have a swivel on it as well. So your quick connect here does have a swivel, and then it does have a nice quick connect on the front for your nozzles. Alrighty, a little more packaging coming through. It looks like that's mostly it. Let me go ahead and pull the unit out. And here is the unit itself. I gotta say, it's nice and compact. It's smaller than I thought it would be, but again, we're utilizing a universal motor. We're gonna have a basic toggle on-off switch right on the front. We have your water inlet and outlet right off the front here. Ideally, I personally like it when it's one side or the other so that it runs in line, or at least it doesn't get as jumbled up from one right in the front and one in the back, but not a big deal. Everything else looks really good on it. The little push button here releases the handle extension so you can wheel it around. Push that down. We have the wheels pre-installed. We don't have to deal with anything. They're a hard plastic wheel, so if you're going around over rocks and things like that, it might be a little more cumbersome, but really nice around the house. Right here also is a nice grip so you can lift the machine itself. Really cool. And then you do have nozzle storage on the back here. This also looks like you can wrap your cord around the back end, just right around this. And then let's see here. So it comes with this guy. Let me see where this goes. Just like flip that over, just like so. And then this guy on the other side, or vice versa, I guess it doesn't really matter. One thing to note though is because usually with these it's for an extension lance. Since we don't have that, how does this sit in there is a question. Can you just, let's see here. You can kind of just widen it up a little bit and then that sits in there. Yeah, that's fine. It's not a perfect solution in my opinion. It's more if you have the longer guns. But again, I would much rather have a solution like this that works and a short gun than a longer gun that I'm never going to use. So good job there, big boy. Foam cannon, this will just be stored on the side, and you have a hook here that you can kind of wind up the hose on as well. Now let's go ahead and look at the nozzle sizes because that's always an indicator of how much performance we're really going to get out of this thing. So we're going to go straight to the 40-degree nozzle, and it is listed as 3.5. So that's giving me the indication that it's going to be a good performer. Usually when they're a small orifice size, so that's showing 3.5. Sometimes they're a 2.0 or a 2.5. That's going to restrict the amount of flow we're going to get on the machine. It also increases PSI, but again, we don't want to restrict the flow because we want that higher flow rate. The green is also a 3.5. The 15 degree is I think they did 3.5s all the way across. Let's see, the 0 degree. Yep, 3.5s all the way across. I love that because I only have to test one of them. And they're all gonna get the same PSI and GPM numbers. Now, impact force of actual force on the panel obviously is going to be different between a 0 degree. All that force is directed in one little pin line versus a 40 degree where it's would it be dissipated? Distributed through that entire fan. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and screw on these portions here, get this thing all ready, and we can start testing this unit. All right, guys, as I'm getting this thing set up, I just want to bring something to your attention is the handle length for, rolling this thing around. This is maxed out. I am 6 foot 2 inches. Fits right to where my hand is. So wheeling it around, I'm having to kind of drop a shoulder a little bit, but it's actually quite comfortable. So they did a good job there. I'm always nervous that sometimes when they're not a telescoping handle, they're just in place and they're a little bit low. This one fits well. So we've got the unit all plugged in. I'm about to turn the water on and check for any leaks. So here I go for that. Turn it on. and no leaks. Now, I will state when you screw on your fittings, right, for your garden hose connectors and all that, just make sure you seat it down properly. If you do, no leaks, no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and purge the water out. The unit is plugged in, it is not on yet, but we're gonna go ahead and purge the water or the air through the system. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the trigger, let water come through. Actually, I'm gonna remove the nozzle just to speed this process up. Okay, we'll do that for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and fire the unit on. Let me see here. There we go. Guys, extremely quiet. You hear that? That's induction motor technology. There's a little squeak at the end, not a big deal. As it's running though, again, extremely quiet. You guys can hear that, I'm sure. When I release the trigger, there's that little squeak like there's a mouse in there. Not a big deal, that may break in over time. All right, let's go ahead and insert this back in. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my amp meter on so we can see what this comes to. Now this is going to be, let's see here. All right, we are testing amps. Let me go ahead and grab, again, this is what the included nozzle that they give you, right? All right, guys, so I've got my amp meter all set up. Again, this is a multiple of 10, so you have to take whatever it is and divide it by 10. Multiply it by 10, divide it by 10, I think, whatever it is. Here we go. Divide it by 10. So we're sitting at 15.3 right now. All right, we're dropping. We're gonna get under that 15 here pretty soon. Well, there we go. All right, guys, I wanna clarify that. In the past, I would not have liked that. I would not have liked that it started above 15. From everything that I've learned from creating my own pressure washer, there's a few different factors, and then one thing really, really important to talk about. A few different factors, obviously the voltage actually coming out of the wall. Is it a true 120? Is it 115? All those things will kind of make this dependent on that. Okay, now with that said, over 15 amps. We are currently pulling over 15 until this thing warms up, gets all the oil going through the pump and everything becomes more and more efficient. As it sits, from everything that I've learned from talking to different engineers, a bunch of different pressure washer manufacturers, they all state it's not a big deal if it sits above 15 for a little bit of time before it drops, as long as it's not an extended period of time. That was probably 15 seconds probably, and now we're getting under it. And then as we use this, it's gonna break in more and more. So after the wash, we'll test that amperage again and see where it lays. But overall, right now, seems this is a 20 amp breaker. Okay, just to be fair, this thing's rated for 15 amps, and I think you would be fine with that. Noise, insanely quiet. It's great. Power feeling, it feels like it's got a good amount of kick. I have a PSI gauge here. Let me go ahead and test this. I will video this for you guys as well. All right, so there we are, 370. It's just sitting stagnant right now. Here we go. So we got up to 1,000 PSI there. Couple things to note. Again, as this breaks in more and more, that'll get increased. So 1,000 PSI, safe to say. Also, they rated it at 1,050. It could be that they're rating it with the meter at the head of the unit and not at the end of it. That can create some loss. Especially this hose is rather thin, right? So that could be there. However, 1,000 PSI, I'm good with. I'm happy with those numbers. They're very, very accurate within a small margin of error. And again, this is straight out of the box, not broken in over time. Let's go ahead and test the GPM. All right, guys, so I've got my bucket here. All we do, stick this into the bucket, run it for 1 minute. That'll give us our gallons per minute rating. 1 minute starts now, and here we go. Again, guys, you can hear this thing. It's nice and quiet. Just a nice little low hum, not a super crazy whining squeal noise that a traditional universal motor will do. The induction motor sounds great. All right, there is 1 minute. I'm gonna go ahead and weigh this out. So this bucket without the lid weighs 26.9 ounces. So we're gonna go ahead and weigh it, and I will let you guys know what the GPM is. All right, guys, so here we go. We got the scale set up here. We are in ounces as well. So I'm gonna center this on the scale as much as humanly possible so that we get the full weight. There we go. We're gonna let that even out a little bit, and we are at 263.5 ounces. I'm just to make sure that doesn't fluctuate for a minute. Okay, we're calling it 263.5. Alrighty, guys, I am back. I have the calculation here. So again, weight of purely just the water came to 236.6 ounces. It was the weight that we did minus the weight of the bucket. That's what got us there. The weight of a gallon of water in ounces is 133.44, or right or about there. And that brings us to, look at that, 1.77 GPM. They list it, if I remember well, right or about there, they listed it, I think, just under that. 1.75 GPM. The numbers are accurate, guys. They did a good, again, when companies build stuff specifically for a specific niche, like detailing, right? They know that we want to know what the actual usable numbers are. So many times we get a 3,000 PSI unit with 1.1 GPM. You can manipulate it, you can make it work. This out of the box is going to work. Let's go ahead and use it now on my wife's truck, and I'll let you know if it feels like I need a little bit more. Those numbers, again, when you go into the full pro grade stuff, yeah, we can get over 2 gallons per minute. We can do all those things. As of now, I'm very, very impressed with this at a $399 price point, with a 40-foot hose, with a foam cannon, with a short gun. So far, I'm really liking it. Now, again, guys, longevity is a question here, and I've never used this thing. Now, this is my first time with this, right? So longevity is what we have to keep in mind. With that said, the internal components of this thing have been sold for years by BigBoi to other parts of the world. Again, not running on a 110, 120 volt, but the rest of it should be very, very similar. So I'm assuming we should be having good results with that. Let me go ahead and pull the truck up and start washing. All right, guys, so here is my wife's Ram Rebel. She's cool, right? Driving this truck around. So I actually it's her birthday coming up. I actually just put these black Rhino wheels on the truck for her. So the truck's not in terrible shape, but it does need a good go over, right? Again, looks pretty good. So I'm gonna address those for sure. Mostly what I'm gonna be able to do here is really just kind of go after a foam on, let dwell, rinse away. We'll see if I even need to do a contact wash otherwise, because again, it's not terrible. The main thing I wanna do though is clean up these wheels. So let's get after it. All right, guys, so it is time for the foam cannon test. I've got 1 ounce of my QUIVR Rogue high foaming soap in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and hook it up. Now, I have it on the vertical spray pattern. Okay, let's go stream, which is actually kind of forceful, and then vertical. So again, not the widest spray pattern, and you can't adjust that, but again, for a foam cannon that comes with a kit, it's pretty good. So here we go. So not the same super crazy thickness, but a good, really, really good coverage out of this thing. We will switch over to the QUIVR foam cannon again as well, just to show how good that thing is. But again, for a foam cannon that comes with a unit, especially at this price point, this thing's fantastic. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna take my little contoured tire brush here. It's a stiff bristle, so I don't dig into it hard. I'm just gonna lightly go over it. Again, most of it's on the outer edge. So I just wanna help to loosen that up so that it pulls the dirt and debris out of the tire, out of the rubber surface. Now, because I'm working in direct sunlight, I'm gonna go ahead and foam these back up. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. That's just gonna allow more dwell time, right? So it gives it less risk to dry onto the surface. All right, guys, now we're gonna go ahead and foam the rest of the truck. With this, I'm gonna do 1 panel, and then we'll move on. I'll switch this into the QUIVR foam cannon so you guys can see the difference. Here we go. So let me get this on camera here for you. So there's your foam production. Nice and sticky though, right? Look at this. Will it stack up on itself? A bit. Look at that. It's definitely nice and thick. A little bit runny, but really thick still. Again, that pH neutral Rogue foaming soap is fantastic in that sense. I'm gonna go ahead and just switch it over to the QUIVR foam cannon now, just so you guys can see that. An exact same solution here from one into the other. Okay, all right, we're all set, tighten down. Here we go. Let me get this on camera for you as well. All right, here we go. So if you just see, the coverage is different, right? Thicker, more dimpled.
It's gonna give you that longer dwell time because it's going on so thick. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep going around with this. But again, like I said, guys, the foam cannon that this unit comes with, if you buy the unit and it comes with it, there's not a lot, like, you don't have to upgrade. It's a great foam cannon. All right, guys, so we're just gonna let that dwell for a little bit and then I'll rinse. We're gonna rinse starting off with this pressure washer. I'm going to switch to a different pressure washer because that one is hooked up to deionized water. I wanna keep this as spot-free as possible. This one currently is not, but I wanna see the rinsing ability of this unit. And while we're waiting for that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go inside and check the amp reading again because now this thing has been being used, so it should be warmed up. Let me see if the PSI changed at all. PSI has not changed. It's in between that 990 to 1,000. Now we'll go ahead and check the amps again. Here we go. You see that? We're nowhere near the 15. We're at 14.1-ish. So good to go. All right, let's go ahead and start rinsing and checking the rinsing ability of this unit. Again, the more flow you have, the easier it is. It's supposed to, like, just, if it's purely PSI, it's like you're just blasting air into it. You need all that water flow to actually rinse stuff out. So again, 1.77 GPM though is quite good. Yeah, it's fantastic. So if you look at this, guys, doing a really good, effective, efficient job of rinsing everything away. Okay, look at that. And just so you guys remember, if you look at the protection on this vehicle, this is still from the initial video I did of my QUIVR hot coat. This is my ceramic detail spray with tons of protection in it. If you just look at that water behavior, right? That was, at the time I filmed that video, that was 3 months ago, and that's another, I don't know, 2 or so months ago. We're coming up on 6 months with this, still performing perfectly. All right, guys, now that I've got this thing all rinsed down, I'm just gonna do one final step. So because these are new wheels, I wanna add some protection to them. They're not bad at all right now. So just spray them. Right, you see how they sit? I'm gonna go ahead and take QUIVR hot coat though, if that'll focus for you. Here, spin this around. QUIVR hot coat, ceramic detail spray. We're just gonna go ahead and spray it onto the surface of the wheel, and you'll see the hydrophobics just get crazy with it. So already you can see it all falling off. You can see it just doesn't want to stick to it anymore. Really, really quick, easy, fast protection for your wheels. All right, guys, so final opinion on the new to us in the US, BigBoi Washr Flo. I think as a kit at $399 with the performance that it's getting, I think they did an absolutely phenomenal job. In all honesty, I'd say they kind of hit it out of the park, right? The numbers are accurate. 1.77 GPM at 1,000 PSI is what I'm getting. It's phenomenal. I mean, the performance of it worked great. Again, I think the overall footprint, the hose isn't the best, but again, for one that comes with a pressure washer is very, very good. It did kink, but as I was using it, it wasn't jumbling up behind me. So great hose. Again, gives you the length that you need to actually be able to get around a car. Foam cannon, also great. Again, this is complete. They did send this unit to me. I want to be very clear about that. They sent me the unit. This is 100% purely my opinion on this thing though. Initial impressions, I'm quite impressed. So that's it for today's video, guys. I will update you along as I go with this. I might even test out with other things and see what other kind of performance we can get out of it. Again, pre-booking for these is live. I'll link it down in the description for you guys. As soon as those arrive, again, in the next couple of weeks here, they'll start shipping. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you guys on the next one.